Hi everybody, long time no see. Okay, I hate long introductions, so I'm just gonna like do my little disclaimer. Very much Tyler, the creator. Don't do what I say in this video. Don't do it. I am not a role model. I am not someone you should be looking up to. I am not that, okay? I just live my life and document it on YouTube because it's fun and that's what I like to do, okay? That does not mean you should take what I say in these videos and go reenact them, okay? Okay. Also, like, yeah, I'm not a role model. I'm a loser. I'm a loser 15-year-old. Like, it's literally 1 a.m. and I got ready. I put makeup on. I did my eyeliner. I put my jewelry on to talk to my phone. Also, did my curtain fell and I'm too lazy to put it back up. So literally anyone could just be watching me through my window, which is cool. Anyone want to pull a Joe from you? I'd actually be really okay with that. My ex doesn't want me, my vibrator's still in the mail, like I could really use some human touch right now. I'm just kidding. My ex really doesn't want me. And my vibrator really is still in the mail. No, I'm kidding. But what was I talking about? Yeah, don't do what I say in this video. Let's get this actual story time started. So, there was a point in my life where I was a lesbian, there was a point in my life when I was non-binary, there was a point in my life when I was bisexual, and now because the bullying worked, I identify as straight, she, her. No, I'm kidding. The bullying did work, but it's just it's just my sexuality, I don't know. But at the time, I was dating this girl. Let's call her Pluto. I had just broken up with my one ex-girlfriend, my long-distance ex-girlfriend that fucked me up for life because she cheated on me and, like, I was in love with her, like, whatever. So I just broke up with her, and then I got with Pluto literally 2 days after. And Pluto was a recurring character in my life. She was friends with my younger sister at one point, and she was a terrible influence. Like, they started together. They walked on a highway to get to Walmart to try to spend 24 hours in a Walmart. Like, actually, what? But I'm also stupid. I went and dated this girl after this happened, so who am I to judge? So we start dating, and then we come up with a plan that we're gonna spend the night at our mutual friend's house. Let's call her Saturn. No, I don't want to do just planets. Let's call her Amelia. Because we could not, under any circumstance, spend the night at Pluto's house because her mom was like, fuck no. She does not do sleepovers at her house. Not allowed, does not happen. I think it's because Pluto had gotten in trouble so many times before this that she was just genuinely not allowed to have people over, which is hilarious. So I asked my parents if I could spend the night at Pluto's house, and they're like, no. And I was like, please? And they were like, yeah. So my grandma ends up taking me to Pluto's house because she had already known who Pluto was. And she's like, Pluto's not really a good influence. Like, don't be doing anything bad. Don't be walking outside. And I was like, I won't, Grandma, I won't. Lying. Literally just lying. I knew full well that I was not spending the night at Pluto's house, and I was gonna have to walk to Amelia's house. So we get there, bye-bye Grandma, and Pluto comes out, and we start walking to Amelia's house, and we're just talking. And she's like, yeah, so Amelia actually hasn't answered me about spending the night at her house yet. And I'm like, what? Like, huh? And she's like, yeah, and her mom really hates me, so we might not be able to spend the night there. And I'm like, so where am I gonna sleep? So we're walking down the street to a house that we don't know if we're allowed to stay at. When all of a sudden, my grandma comes rolling down the street. The same grandma who I told, no, I'm not gonna be walking, I'm not gonna be out. So I'm like, hey, Grandma, what are you doing? And she's like, what are you doing? So she ends up giving us a ride to Amelia's house. We're knocking on the door, we're calling her. She's not answering, she's not picking up the phone. We're standing outside of Amelia's door for like a solid 15 minutes until my grandma's like, okay, we gotta go back to your house. So we went back to Pluto's house. Not sure what we were gonna do. All I know is that we could not spend the night at Pluto's house. When we get there, she drops us off. We're waiting for my grandma to leave and actually leave and go home this time and not find us walking the streets at midnight. Like, God. And I have like $100, so I'm like, why don't we just go walk to Circle K and we can figure something out? My eyes look really lopsided and it's throwing me off. Are they actually, or am I just tweaking? No, they're definitely lopsided. Okay. I've actually become really like self-aware of how my eyes are always doing different things at any given moment. Like maybe this one's looking a little more that way, or maybe this one's a little like more shut than the other one. And it's like, why? I don't know, but I'm like really aware of it now. And every picture that I take, they're doing different things, which is sick. Anyways, what the fuck was I talking about? So we're just wandering, and then I get the idea to go to my ex-stepmom's house. Let's call her Janine. But Janine was in Kentucky, which is not where I live, by the way. I live in Ohio. But I know Janine keeps her back door unlocked in case people need to get in. Perf. It's just an empty house. We don't even have to tell anyone's parents what happens. It's fine. We pull up to Janine's house, and I go to the back door, and it's locked. And that's immediately when I knew Janine is not in here, but someone is. Go to the front door, we knock. Lo and behold, let's call this girl Mackenzie. Mackenzie's here. Now, I knew Mackenzie from many moons ago. Mackenzie was basically this like freshly 18-year-old girl. Her whole entire home life was entirely fucked up. So she was staying with Janine the same time I was staying with Janine because my home life was entirely fucked up too. So I kind of knew her. So I was like, hey, Mackenzie, what the fuck is going on? Why are you here when Janine is in Kentucky? Because I knew for a fact that her and Janine had ended things on bad terms because Janine was essentially kicking Mackenzie out. So I was real confused as to why Mackenzie was in this house. So she lets us in, and then I shit you not, starts rambling about how she is on meth and how she has been awake for 3 days. Let me repeat. She's on meth and she's been awake for 3 days. Okay, I'm immediately like, okay, so we cannot stay here, got it. Pluto was not thinking the same thing. Pluto was thinking, oh, perfect. Just another roommate that we can spend the night with, who gives a fuck? She clearly did not understand the gravity of the situation, because in my mind, Mackenzie is gonna tell Janine, and then Janine is gonna tell my parents, and then my parents are gonna find out that I spent the night with a meth head. Not allowed. Cannot happen. No. So as the three of us are talking, I'm literally texting Pluto like, we need to get out of here, we need to leave now. Because I'm not gonna spend the night with a meth head. Like, that's just, I'm not doing that. So eventually me and Pluto make up the excuse that, oh, we're gonna walk back up to Circle K and get more snacks. That's when Mackenzie starts flipping the couch cushions looking for quarters. Picture what a meth head acts like. Picture it, imagine it, that's what I was seeing. So we start walking ahead of her. Eventually she catches up with us because the Circle K was only like a block away. And in my mind, I'm like, she's not gonna have enough money to pay for anything. That's when it hits me. She's gonna rob the store. We get into the Circle K. The three of us together, happy little family. Mackenzie starts shoving things into her pants and into her pockets, and she's just kind of perusing, doing that. I say to Pluto, if the alarm goes off, I'm gonna run and pretend I've never met you. And she's like, perfect, me too. That was really the plan, because we had no other excuse as to why we would be hanging out with a meth head who happened to rob the store. You know, like, worst case scenario, the alarm goes off. And then we run. Like, scan our things, we wait for Mackenzie. When I tell you, my heart was pounding as we were walking out of the store, because I was like, if that alarm goes off, I'm cooked. If that alarm goes off, I'm running from the police. Which I had not done yet at this time. If that alarm goes off, I have nowhere to stay tonight. We walk out, nothing happens. The alarm doesn't go off. Oh my God, I was so happy. I've never been more faithful in Jesus than in that moment. He was with me. He was with me, and he was making sure the alarm didn't go off. Thank you. We walk out of the store, and guess who we see in the fucking parking lot? You're not gonna believe me. You're not gonna believe me. It's Amelia. It's Amelia and her mom in the Circle K parking lot. So of course we go up to them. I'm like, hey, da-da-da. In my mind, game plan, I'm gonna somehow weasel my way into her bed. Not like that, but I'm gonna weasel my way into spending the night at her house, because I'm not gonna sleep with a meth head. Hello. So I'm trying my hardest to sweet talk Amelia's mom into letting us spend the night. I somehow managed to get fully into the back of her van. Mid-conversation, like, I somehow just got into the car. And I was like, so why don't we just go to your house? And she's like, you guys can't spend the night. I'm like, fuck. But why don't we just spend the night? You can't spend the night. So definitely not allowed to spend the night at Amelia's house. Amelia didn't even fucking ask her mom. So thank you for that, Amelia. Cool. So we drive up to Janine's house, and there's cop cars surrounding the house. Like, there's cop cars in front of the house. And I'm like, I'm not going in there. And Pluto's like, I definitely can't go in there, because this is not her first offense with, like, the law. And then I'm like, why don't we just go back to your house? And Pluto's like, we cannot. And I'm like, well, we have to. So we end up driving back to Pluto's house. And when I walk in the door, and I see her adopted father, who's a grown man with a full beard and no hair, he was wearing a pink triple D laced bra. What? Again, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm just trying to portray the shock that I experienced. So we ask him where Pluto's mom is. We sweet talk her. We don't sweet talk her at all, actually. We tell her the truth, and that there was cop cars, and if she wanted us to go get arrested, we could go do that. And she's like, no, I guess you guys can sleep here, da-da-da-da. She did not want me to spend the night there at all, which, like, I'm the bad influence in this situation. Bitch, I am a bystander. I'm an innocent bystander. Another thing I want to say is, in the middle of the night, we went downstairs to make ramen, and in her kitchen, there's literal shelves full, tables full of fake pastries. Extremely intricate, detailed, fake baked goods. Everywhere. Literally everywhere. Basically, nothing happened that night. We watched the movie and all was well. We ended up breaking up like a few days later because we all planned to like watch a movie, and then Amelia didn't ask her fucking mom again. And then Jupiter, I was in the middle of taking her to the movie when her mom calls her, and she got grounded for not taking her meds and for stealing money, like, from people. So we had to take her back, and then my dad was like, you should really probably not talk to that girl anymore. And I was like, okay. And I ended up dating her for like a week after, but then I broke up with her. So in the off chance that any of the people that I'm talking about see this video, I'm not trying to offend anyone. We all made bad decisions that night, okay? Okay, so now on to the end credits. Janine moved to a different city. Mackenzie is probably in jail somewhere. I actually don't know. Pluto is doing much better. Amelia is doing much better. And I am doing spectacular. So there's the happy ending. This was just a really, really fucking crazy night that was happening to a 7th grader. Don't be like me. Make good decisions. Don't hang out with bad influences. Don't be the bad influence. It's not cool. Can we talk about this crystal necklace that I bought? It is so adorable. I love it. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.